Alright, I know I'm back rather soon with part 12, but there's some other things that I wanted to get off my chest that I wanted to address. And the first thing is this whole Meek Drake situation. I'm trying to figure out the best way to illustrate this so that people can understand that, dog, it don't matter. It don't matter. And don't get me wrong, these last two joints I heard from Meek, the joints is kind of hard. They sound fly. They sound hot. I ain't gonna lie. He went in. Songs is tough. Don't matter, because for one, he's going in, pretty much going in about the same stuff. He's talking about the same stuff. Like, his main subject matter is making money and being with Nicki. I'm up late counting 500,000 and Nicki still asleep. Rick Ross said my little homie just made $1 million off his girl tour. Like, okay, that's something to be proud of. Like, again, that's just reinforcing the fact that is that a world tour or your girl tour? Like, Drake called it your girl tour. So by Rick Ross saying, yeah, he just made $1 million off his girl tour. Like, all right, so what? He's still living off of his girl though. Like, and you can't talk money talk when you're dealing with somebody who got at least 3 times, who's worth at least 3 times more than you. That don't make no sense. You beefing with 50 too. 50 is worth more than you. So you talking money for what? Like, on the low, Drake probably smashed Nicki before. So, like, you bragging about Nicki for what? I mean, but anyway, I just want to put it plain. Like, and any former prisoners or prisoners that may be watching this right now can understand it. That if you're considered the softest dude on the block, right? Softest dude on that cell block. And in the yard, you walk up to the hardest, toughest dude. I don't care who wins the physical fight. If you're the softest dude, and you walk up to what up, LaJoy? You walk up to this dude in the yard and smack, open hand, smack fire out of him. First of all, when you're a man and you get smacked by another man, it's hard to come back from that. Like, you lost that fight. I don't care if you can physically outdo this guy, if you can out wrestle him and your hand skills are better and you pound him to the ground. It don't matter. You can beat him up. You're supposed to. You're bigger and stronger and you have more heart. You're a gangster. You're a realer dude. You're supposed to beat this guy in a fight. But if he smacks you in the face, there really ain't no coming back from that. He won that fight. Because like I said, even if you beat him up, we expect you to beat him up. You're supposed to beat him up. All right? You're more gangster. You're more real. So for a soft dude to smack you in the face, you're done. And now, if he smacks you in the face and then actually wins that fist fight, and the people gathering around agree, everybody in the yard said, damn, yo, he won that fight, then you're done. You can't come back a week later, a month later, a year later. You're finished. I don't care how hot your songs are. Plus, your songs are not hotter than that guy who smacked you in the face. They might be harder. The streets might dig it. But you're never going to have hotter records. You're not going to be a better artist. It's done. Like, he's finished. And dealing with 50, he might have songs better than 50 now. Might. Whoop-de-doo. It don't matter. You're done. Like I said, what 50 Cent did to Ja Rule, he finished him. There's no coming back. I made the illustration in my Instagram video. When Common Sense, Koofy wearing Common, weirdo dating Erykah Badu, Common, who no one viewed as a gangster, got at Ice Cube when they had a little beef. A lot of people don't know about that. It didn't last long because he finished Ice Cube in that beef. And gangster NWA Ice Cube, and don't get me wrong, this don't take any accolades away from Ice Cube and who he is to hip hop, but his career fizzled out and he went into the acting world. Like, you can't live here no more. You're done. That's it. And Ice Cube is now a very prominent African-American actor in Hollywood and doing his numbers. But, yo, I don't understand what it's like. He's finished. It's done. And then to my understanding, Drake did not put out his new diss record first. Meek put out a record dissing him and 50 or whoever else, and Drake responded. So, like, Here you go again, instigating, starting up a beef. You didn't learn from the last time. You started a fight the last time. You got your ass whooped, and now I guess you want to do it again. And we'll see what happens from this. Again, inmates know. You the softest dude on the cell block. It don't matter because nobody expects you to fight back. Nobody expects you to have any wins. Nobody expects you to get any stripes. So if you show heart and walk up to the hardest dude in the yard, kind of like the movie, what was the movie when Duke was like, his name was Mike. Yeah, my name Mike. Mike from This How We Do It. This How We Dance in North Carolina. This How We Do It in North Carolina. What was his name? What was the name of that movie? And he walked up to Stacy, the blood dude. The dude Stacy was the big brother of the girl that he had a crush on. And everybody after school thought he would be scared of Stacy, and he took the first swing. He didn't win the fight. He got stomped out by Stacy, I believe. But even Stacy respected him and said, "Yo, man, he got heart." Because later on in the movie, they was going to the store, and the cops came, and what happened was Stacy's right-hand man, who's supposed to be a gangster, started crying. And he made him sit in the back seat. Remember? He was like, "Yo, man, you sit your punk ass in the back seat, man. Little man got heart. These little guys ain't even crying. Here you all crying." So, yeah, he acknowledged the fact and respected his heart. Even though, like, clearly you ain't got no wins in this fight. But he took the first swing. And boom, nobody expected that. So, off the top, he wins. I can sit here and say this 1,000 times. Drake, Meek Mill, period. If people aren't even saying that, nah, Drake might have had that, then Drake got that. Ain't no way Drake is supposed to have that, period. And Meek could have had it, but he decided to come with content involving how bad his chick is, how much money he's getting. Who cares about all that? You a spitter, go at this dude's neck. Walk away with his head. John the Baptist him. You did not do that. You did not John the Baptist Drake. Drake is the victor. Meek can come out with 15 more records. It don't matter. It's done. All right. I'm finished talking about that. I'm mad I even spent my time and energy on these other rappers. Like, secondly, what I want to talk about is the misconception, the myth of dumbing down lyrics. That we as a people are so dumbed down by food products, all right? By drinks, by the air we breathe, by the subconscious radioactive waves that come from our television sets. We're so dumbed down by all that we believe in the myth of dumbing down. And why the myth, MarLee? Because we don't dumb down to be commercial. We don't dumb down for hit records to reach the masses, to reach white people, if you will. Because they don't really care about that. I watched this documentary on J. Cole, where he didn't promote, he didn't market his album, he didn't do none of that. At the last minute, he put an album out, and he had people come to the house that he grew up in and listen to his album on Beats headphones. And most of these people were Asians and white kids. I would bet my left nipple and my right nutsack that Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole have more white fans than they do have African American fans. And they are very wordy and tricky with the wordplay, but you know what? They appreciate sophisticated hip-hop. They don't knock that. We knock it. We knock our own music. We are putting ourselves in a position where we are pushing ourselves off the map. We dumb down music so much to the point where they are able to replicate it. Now you have dudes like Post Malone coming out with songs like White Iverson, using the auto-tune in this simplified, dumbass, dumbed-down flow, and he's going to be hailed as a top rapper within the next few years if he keeps it, because we allow this to happen, because we dumb down our lyrics for each other. We didn't dumb it down for the white crowd. Because when we quote-unquote started dumbing stuff down, they were so hyped to be a part of the culture. They loved hip-hop so much, they didn't need us to dumb it down and simplify it. They were intrigued. They wanted to hear that tricky flow, that sophisticated, complicated wordplay. They were baffled by it. They loved it. We dumbed it down by believing lyrics by Jay-Z like, "I dumbed down for my audience, double my dollars." So when we hear stuff like that, we believe it to be fact. That's not fact. Because back then when he said that, people were riding with Jay, period, regardless. He didn't he didn't even really dumb down that much. Because he said that, I believe it was in the 90s, the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. But here in the late 2000s or the mid 2000s, when he came out with Empire State of Mind with Alicia Keys, was that a simple dumbed down flow? No. Was it a #1 record? Yes. So we are dumbing down for each other. And here's the stupidest part about that. We don't buy records. So we're dumbing down for a demographic that doesn't even purchase music. How dumb is that? Yeah, we're really dumbing down. Yeah, we are really dumbing down. So now, the whole point, and it started years ago, again, this goes back to systematic plans. The purpose of dumbing the music down is so that it's easy for them to copy. Because it wasn't easy for them to copy before and sound authentic and sound genuine before. It was too complicated for them to grasp the formula. But now it's easy for them to duplicate it so they can start producing their Post Malones and their Riff Raffs. And we can't argue and say, no, come on, man, that's not even real hip-hop. Well, that doesn't say, they're going to say, what do you mean? Wait, whoa, what do you mean this isn't real hip-hop? Riff Raff sounds just like Young Thug. Post Malone sounds just like Raise Your Bird. What do you mean? And then what argument do we have? Idiots. Make real music. It's damn near too late, but it ain't too late. It's damn near too late, but it's not too late. Make real music, people. Start making music. And especially in New York. I got a hair in my mouth. Especially in New York. How do we expect to own our balls? How do we expect to get respect? How do we expect to be chart-topping artists and meaningful artists if our foundation is another region's sound? Pisses me off when I turn to Hot 97 and I hear this new movement. Yeah, we got a lot of good music coming out the tri-state. Yeah, we supporting a lot of East Coast, a lot of tri-state artists. Yeah, in New York, we got this new movement becoming strong. How? I'm Indian. Tell me how. I don't care how strong your movement is. I don't care if you got 5 artists or 5,000 artists. If 95% of the music coming out of this movement sounds Southern, then what's the point? Where is your movement going? You have a stagnant movement. There was no purpose of doing that. There was no point in creating that movement in the first place. All you're doing is strengthening the sound and the movement of somebody else. We need to start growing our own crops. And what we really need to do to start doing that is focus on a core handful of artists coming out the town. Because if you got 2 or 3 creative artists, and you're playing their music, but then you're also playing 70 other Southern turned up artists, then it defeats the whole purpose. All right, it's self-defeating. It doesn't make any sense to do that. You're not going to go anywhere. It's a weak movement. We need to focus on a core handful of artists that are fearless, that are willing to come with a different sound, a different look, a different perspective, a different expression. Focus on them. Understand what the core identity of your town is going to be, so that we all have an understanding of what the guidelines are, what the boundaries are. We shouldn't be stepping outside of these lines. Don't go out of bounds. This is where we live. This is where our sound, and I don't necessarily sound, but just an energy and identity. This is where our identity lives. Within this radius. We don't step outside of this. But you can't do that. You can't establish that as long as you're promoting 150 artists at one time. 150 artists that have no clue what music is. They're not even making music. You need to focus on a core set of artists. This is what I propose. You got to have a core set of artists to establish what the legs are, to establish what we're going to stand on. So that way anybody coming after that understands and knows you got to respect this guideline, and this is what we stand on. We don't do anything outside of this. But other than that, we're doomed. Doomed as a culture in hip-hop. Doomed as a city in New York. Like, we're terrible here. I don't understand how a grown man can be comfortable sounding like another man. Like, you don't know that you sound like somebody else. Like, how are you comfortable doing this? It's terrible. Like, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to call myself a New Yorker at this point. It is sad, man. It's sad, yo. But for real, let's reverse it. Stop dumbing down. What are you dumbing down for? What are you dumbing down for? You'll be your own death. You'll be your own demise. And you won't have nobody to blame but yourself. Hip hop. New York hip hop. Black hip hop. You won't have nobody to blame but yourself, fam. And on that note, I like baked macaroni and cheese. Loved it ever since I was a kid. Also love fried shrimp ever since I was a kid. And very fine or Welch's grape juice. And orange sherbet. I haven't had orange sherbet in years, though. I think the last time I ate it, I caught a brain freeze. Why are you sharing that with us, MarLee? I don't know. I just felt like it. Those are the types of foods that I like. I like seafood. And I'm a pizza addict. I can't stop for some reason. No matter how healthy I eat. Oh, that's another thing before I leave. Since I started talking about food, I want to say that I'm back on or off the wagon, and I'm not proud of it. I'm using drugs again, and I got to get off of that. I went about 2 or 3 months strong without using. And it's hard when you're an addict, and most of us are addicts from birth, so it's hard. And I'm addressing this because I'm binging on my favorite show, Nurse Jackie, right now. And, you know, I was going so good with my diet. I was drinking my alkaline water like at least three times a day. A lot of vegetables, fruits. I was staying away from not just red meat. I was staying away from meat. The hard part about that is like going vegan or vegetarian. It's hard. Like you kind of feel weak without meat, even though you were never naturally designed to consume it anyway. These teeth right here, these fangs, those fangs started developing in humans after colonialization. Did I say that word properly? After or is it colonization? Whatever. After we were colonized by the Europeans and taught to eat differently and taught to eat animals and became animals. We're not supposed to eat animals. So original humans, original man did not have these things because we didn't need it. So we're not supposed to eat meat for real, for real. And when you go without meat, you feel weak. Like a vampire does. You know? But anyway, so I was staying away from chicken, everything, man. And I'm back on drugs now. I've been eating Monsanto's food products. You know, I say drugs because I drink soda a few times, drinking juice. And I'm going to get back off it soon once I get back in the gym, get my diet right. But I'm saying drugs because these things are worse than any kind of crack, marijuana, heroin you can think of. Sugar. Notice it's not marketed and promoted to you, but it's in everything, and you've been addicted since a baby. It's the worst drug. It really is. I'm not being funny when I'm saying this. It's a drug. And it's hard to kick because your body is used to it and craves it ever since you were young. But I'm definitely going to get off of it, get my act right again, get my regimen going. You even feel different once you consume sugar after not consuming it for a while. You get head rushes, you get headaches, you feel the amount of sugar that's in your system because it's not supposed to be there. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I get a little more into that, you know, the drugs and the hidden enemies, the things that are hidden that are actually the worst for you, the things that's in media and that they put all over the place as your enemy. I'm not saying that they're not bad for you, but they're not as bad as the things that they don't talk about. And on that note, MarLee Hendrixx signing off. All right. This has been the Experience 12.